and Manny Rosario for their respective sides got the job done. And the difference today will be you have a full 9 innings.
Yeah, and enough cannot be said about Diaz's performance last night for the Owls. He came in and absolutely closed the door, and that's what you want from your bullpen. And I think, did he throw 3-4 innings? I'm trying to remember. 4 strong innings. He struck out a bundle. He did everything you want out of the bullpen. And I think if you can get a hot start from Tyndall on the mound and you can say, hey, bullpen, see, it's possible. We did it yesterday. Go out there and do it again. I think that's a great recipe for success for these Owls.
As Coco Figueredo will step into the batter's box to get ready to get us underway. Figueredo 2 for 6 in the series, a double, a single, a sacrifice hit, and a walk for the third baseman. And the first pitch from Tyndall, the fastball misses up and away for ball 1, and we are underway. And dare I say, Ben, a shade early at 101.
Well, you did dare to say it.
The 1-0 from Tyndall. This is down and in, and it's 2-0. And the right-hander, Ben, has a very good arsenal at the ready.
Yeah, he'll come in with a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, and a cutter. All those from the fastball family, as that one smacked hard and caught out there in center field for the first out in this one. So 3 pitches coming from the same family tree of the fastball. And then he was also going to come at you with a slider and a changeup. So basically, he'll work you with some hard stuff with that 4-seamer, 2-seamer, and cutter, and then he can make you dance out of the way with a slider and a changeup.
As Joe Johnson will step into the batter's box again, his reign of terror continues. 3 for 7 in the series with 3 extra base hits and 4 runs batted in. Had a big 2-run double in game 2, and it was something just like that as he pokes that into the left field corner into the Owl bullpen. Johnson will hold at second, and it's another 2-base hit for the Jackalope first baseman.
Yeah, after the fly out to center field, a double puts the Jackalopes in great position to strike here in the first inning. Runner in scoring position, just 1 out, no force anywhere.
Well, and the thing you like there, if you're Grand Junction, Joe Johnson inside it out at that pitch, took it the other way, right down the third base line, and if you can get a lefty that can hit to all fields, you're living right. First pitch from Tyndall catches the bottom of the zone to Jalen Hubbard for strike 1. Second-year infielder for Grand Junction comes into the ballgame batting .295, 5 home runs and 24 runs batted in. And Tyndall misses down low. Glenn with a nice block. Evens the count 1-1.
Yeah, lefties, looks like something got into the eye of the batter.
Yeah.
Some of that AstroTurf here. You get some of those little black pellets that'll bounce up into your face with a ball in the dirt like that, or ball in the turf like that.
Well, and I know, too, the other thing that can happen is if players wear contacts, right? You get one of those little pellets up there.
Oh, jeez.
Or, your contact pops out. It happens, right?
As someone who wears contacts for sports, I don't even want to think about it. Not a pleasant feeling.
2-1 from Tyndall. Goes with the cutter, and Hubbard fouls that back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Two from Tyndall. He gets the sign from Glenn. Kicks and fires. Misses down and away. Glenn liked the spot. And you talk about it a lot, Ben. If you're righty on righty, you want to miss down and away and try and entice that swing.
Yeah, if you're missing down and away and you're missing down and away good, you're going to get pitches that go off the end of the bat. And those usually never hit hard.
The full count delivery. Glenn looking for it. It's ball 4. In case Johnson decided he wanted to try and advance 90 feet. He'll stay where he's at. Hubbard works the walk. And here in the month of June, we've seen maybe a starker uptick in walks for this Owl pitching staff, and those free passes have an alarming tendency to hurt you.
Yeah, walks are never a recipe for success.
Cruz fouls that off towards the Jackalopes dugout for strike one.
Free passes, that's what's going to kill you as a pitcher, because if you give up a single on the first pitch of an at-bat, it's the same result, only you threw 3 fewer pitches. So walks will run up your pitch count. They'll put guys on base. And it's usually, like we talked about, you want them to beat you. You don't want to beat yourself.
Tyndall misses down and away. Or ball 1 to Jacob Cruz, who, for him anyway, at 3 for 8, a quiet-ish series. That ball gets past Glenn and rolls back to the screen. It's a wild pitch. And now both Johnson and Hubbard in scoring position. Takes that double play out of order. Runners at second and third with 1 away. You know, we talked about this on the first homestand for Northern Colorado of the year when they played the Vibes. There's just something about you don't want to give up runs before you've even hit yet.
Yeah, early runs are what's going to kill you defensively.
Cruz grounds that off of the screen above the Grand Junction dugout for strike 2. Evens the count, 2-2.
Playing behind the 8 ball when you get up for your first at-bat and your leadoff guy is staring at a deficit on the board. Doesn't matter how big, it's never what you want.
Tyndall misses down and away to Cruz, who's worked the count full. And again, Tyndall, last time out, 7 strong innings, over 100 pitches in that outing. The payoff pitch from Tyndall to Cruz. Fastball, giddy up, goodbye. The Jackalope left fielder cannot catch up. It's a swinging strikeout, the first of the day for Tyndall, and there's 2 away.
Great way to bounce back after the walk, after the wild pitch, which moved the runners up into scoring position. Able to bounce back and get the strikeout swinging. That'll boost your confidence a little bit, and now you're just 1 out away from escaping this.
Ron Washington Jr. standing in the way. Washington Jr. in Game 2 walked 3 times in 4 at-bats after he was the knockout hero in Game 1 as Tyndall dots the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
First knockout round either team saw this season.
Washington Jr. knocked 3 home runs to Dave Matthews' 0. A 1 from Tyndall, and Washington Jr. a cut and a miss, and it's 0-2. And I have to say, I can see below me a few folks scoring the game in the crowd, so it's good to know I'm not alone. Folks still do that at games, which is nice.
I keep meaning to do that.
Do they have apps for that now? They should, if they don't. 0-2 from Tyndall. Got him. Another fastball. Washington Jr. can't connect, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. The Owls will get their first turn to bat when we come back 0-0 at Future Legends Field. get ready for the bottom of the first here at Future Legends Field, and the Owls will get a look at Justin Kleinsorge, who is 2-0 this season with a 1.5 earned run average across 6 innings. He started on June 11th last Sunday, went 5 innings, and he was very good. Gave up just 4 hits, a run, struck out 9, and got the win. And you wonder, even with, Ben, so much time between appearances, if that familiarity is something that will come back for both of these teams later in the year, since, again, they're playing 30 games against each other.
Yeah, and that's the give and take of having that rest. You get time to think about what went well and what didn't, and then you also get a chance to learn. Like for a pitcher, you get to learn their pitches a bit more. You get to watch film, you get to watch tape. So as the season goes on, I think that's a huge benefit.
As the season goes on, the story stays much the same for Henry George at the top of the Owl order. A swing and a miss at the first pitch. George pinch hit in game 2 of the doubleheader last night, was hit by a pitch, and he was 1 for 4 in game 1. Here a slow roller, Hubbard charging, and he makes that play look very easy. And I was out here before the game, and Hubbard was specifically working on those kinds of plays. Both he and Colin Gordon at times struggled with the turf last night. Again, this is a different feel as an infielder, an all-turf infield.
Correct. Yeah, it'll bounce a bit more. It'll skip a bit more. It'll be, weirdly enough, a little bit more consistent than a normal turf field, which might be a bit interesting. And yeah, you work on that play. Sometimes you have to work on the abnormal.
Now there, a hot smash from Diaz, swallowed up by Figueredo at third. He'll lob the ball over to first, and for Kleinsorge, doesn't get much better than that. 2 quick groundouts will bring up Jackson Coots. One of the biggest threats in the Pioneer League, I would say the Owl lineup, but I mean, all he does is hit.
Yeah, he homered yesterday. You can pretty much say that any day.
Grounds that ball foul down the first base line. Coots 4 for 8, 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in across the doubleheader yesterday. And he takes a fastball from the right-hander Kleinsorge for ball 1 on the outside corner. You mentioned the 3rd appearance of the year for Kleinsorge, who played his college ball, most of it anyway, here in the state of Colorado at Regis in the RMAC, then spent a year at Creighton. As Coots pops this up, he's less than impressed, as that's a fly ball in left center field. Wong trails back, makes the grab, and the Owls are down in order in the first. A message from Flow Sports when we return to the top of the second, tied 0-0. Top of the second, and we mentioned, Ben, it's Father's Day today, and off the top of the broadcast, we made sure that we wished a happy general Father's Day to folks. But you're a local here. My dad's back in San Diego, so just wanted to take a few seconds and make sure I wish him a happy Father's Day back at home. He's probably got the air conditioner going in the living room and everything.
I would imagine so. We need to get ours going. Happy Father's Day. My father as well. Brian, hope you're listening. It feels weird calling you by your first name.
It always does. It doesn't matter what age you get to, right? It's always going to feel a little strange. As Tyndall evens the count 1-1 to Anthony Ray. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention some of the dads here on this Owlz roster. Carter Linton, J.C. Coronado, among others. Well, they're celebrating their Father's Day by suiting up here this afternoon. 1-2 from Tyndall to Ray. And Ray takes that one right back up the middle for a ringing base hit into center field, and the leadoff runner aboard here in the top of the second.
Yeah, early trouble in this one, but Tyndall, in that first inning, he got into some danger. Runner at second and third with only one out, and he was able to set the next two guys down on strikes. So an excellent comeback for him there, able to throw a 0 up on the board in the first inning. Let's see if he can dance around some danger here. Leadoff runner, singles, leading off of first base.
Shoemaker squares to bunt. It's a beauty. Tyndall leaves it for Higgins. The throw gets away from Coots and headed to third. And able to advance is Ray. It's an E5, and now runners at the corners and nobody out. Higgy tried to make that play. It was a tough play, and the throw pulled Coots off the bag and then glanced off his glove. And have to say, good work at second by Jimenez to back that up.
Yeah, excellent work. That's knowing your assignment, and it's tricky as a second baseman, especially with the runner on first base because, well, your instinct is to go cover second base. So a great job by him coming over, backing up that throw as he should, as this one's bunted again right back to the pitcher.
Tyndall, that throw gets away. Past Coots into the screen on the first base side. It's an error, and all hands are safe. Ray, who was held initially, will come in to score. Shoemaker advances to third. And Wong safe on the E1, and that was one of those throws, Ben, the moment it slipped from Tyndall's hand, you knew it was off the mark.
Yeah, it's a sinking feeling. The moment you let go of that ball, you know, oh, I overthrew it. You just feel it. You know, you're like, you missed something in your arm action, and Jackalopes, 3 bunt attempts in a row.
I mean, why not? It's drawn 2 errors. It's worked for him thus far.
It's working for him. Make the defense play defense.
Yeah. They're trying, I think, to take that double play out of order at minimum. That was the goal with Wong's bunt. 1-0 from Tyndall to Gordon, who squares to bunt again. It's a fastball, catches the outside corner for strike 1. Colin Gordon, 295 with 3 home runs and 14 runs batted in coming into today's ball game. He is now played in 23 of the Jackalopes' 24 games. As Tyndall checks Wong over at first. One from Tyndall out of the stretch. The runner, Wong, from first was on the move with the pitch. Gordon a foul ball, and he's in a 1-2 hole. Gordon 1 for 4 in the series with a walk and a hit by pitch. A 1-2 from the right-hander, Tyndall. Got him looking, ring him up, an exuberant strike 3 from the home plate umpire. And there's 1 away.
Yep, good bounce back there. Got to get the strikeout. You got to start somewhere. And with a runner in scoring position, a punch out is the perfect way to do that. Keep him right there. Don't let him get any farther. Now you have the force set up for the double play should you get a ground ball up the middle.
Figueredo
Could see another bunt attempt as they've been using that to avoid those double plays.
looks like he's content to swing away as he takes ball 1 down low. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. You were right.
Figueredo
He was content.
flew out to center field first time up. He's going with the high Sox look today. And I have to say, I like the black jerseys with the purple trim as well. A-plus marks for the Jackalopes on the fashion report. Runner on the move, and that ball punched into left center field. A diving effort, and it just gets past Matthews into the gap. This will plate 2. Figueredo stops at second. That's a 2-run double, and the Jackalopes have opened up an early 3-0 lead here in the second.
Great diving attempt out in left field, but just a better piece of hitting to go to the opposite field. We've seen it twice already in this one. Some opposite field hitting, and it's done the Jackalopes well. Some selective offense with the bunt attempts, moving people over, and then when you're able to go the opposite way for a double, doesn't get much better than that if you're the Jackalopes.
Well, and the challenge in that, and the official scorer, Chuck, is right behind me, so he can help me if I'm wrong here. Believe that all 3 of those runs would be unearned with the errors.
We have a correct from Chuck. The first run is earned, the next 2 are unearned.
I was so close.
You were really close.
I'm going to give myself a B plus for that effort. Is that okay?
Seems
Subjectively grading myself? Seems a bit high. 2-0 the count to Joe Johnson, who doubled to left in the first. And here a sharp ground ball to second. Jimenez will pick it. It takes an extra beat or 2 to get the throw over to Coots for out number 2. Figueredo advances to third on the play.
Just got to make absolutely sure with those throws. Had some errant ones here in this one, here in this inning. So just do your due diligence, go through the cycle, practice the fundamentals, get the elbow through. Everything you need to do to make a good throw.
Jalen Hubbard 0 for 0. He walked in his first at-bat in the first inning. Takes the first pitch, ball down and away. You know, anytime I hear about using like the elbow, right, as a fundamental athletic tool, it reminds me of this terrible old commercial of Dwayne Wade's as Hubbard takes ball 2. It was beef. You have to bend your knees, lock your eyes in with the rim, keep your elbow in, and follow through to finish a free throw.
So I'm terrible at basketball.
I mean, just as an aside, if we're talking about elbow fundamentals, is Tyndall hits the corner down the way, gets back in the count 2-1.
But maybe I need to look up that video.
Beef. The YouTube, the interwebs have it somewhere. I know they do. 2-1 from Tyndall. And that catches the corner. The back pick, and they very nearly got Figueredo. Demonstrative safe call. And Higgins, I don't think, knew the play was on from Glenn. If he had been on the bag, I think they would have got him.
Yeah, they would have. That was excellent reaction to back that up if you're Higgins. If you don't know the back pick is on. Now with 2 strikes, the Kazoo's out in force.
And Hubbard, a sharp one-hopper right off and under the glove of Coots and into right field. He slaps the turf in frustration as it's a base hit for Jalen Hubbard with 2 away. An RBI, and it's 4-0 Grand Junction. And, man, you could almost feel Coots' frustration from here.
Yeah, it's one of those Murphy's Law innings. You get a couple errors, you miss a couple balls. You thought you had a guy back picked at third base to end the inning, and you didn't. The very next pitch just misses your glove over there at third base or first base for the final out.
It's tough because in some respects you look at, and, you know, the Jackalopes have gotten 5 outs to work with.
Yeah.
here in the top half of the second, and they've taken advantage, to be sure. A 4-spot and counting as Tyndall's 1-0 pitch to Cruz misses down and in for ball 2.
I mean, we talked about it last night with the 7-inning games. You have fewer outs to work with. And this one, in this inning, you've gifted the Jackalopes a few more outs to work with.
27 plus as Cruz pops that foul out of play down the third base line. And, you know, again, and this is, I have the benefit of last year as well. The thing that I love about watching Cruz in the batter's box is you never get the sense that he's over-swinging.
Yeah. Trust the bat. Let the bat do the work. Just get into a good place just like that. Get the bat head out, and you'll put it out into center field. And now going to second base, and the throw is offline. Able to stretch that one into a double.
Good piece of hitting from Cruz. Splits the gap in right center field. And Ron Washington Jr., the 9th Jackalope of the inning to hit. As Frank Gonzalez out to settle down Mark Tyndall here. And again, the challenge in the inning is that it hasn't been a bad inning as far as the pitching has been concerned. It's just been compounded by maybe some poor defense.
Yeah, he gave up the single, or he gave up the double. He had a walk. And then a single there, and the single that was just missed by Coots over at first base. He's induced a lot of ground balls. He's done what he's had to do on the mound. So it's been a good inning pitch, but that's feels like a consolation prize if you're on the mound.
Washington Jr. here trying to really make this top of the second hurt for the Owls. First pitch from Tyndall, and Washington Jr. fouls that straight back for strike 1. Grand Junction in their black Jakes jerseys today, the purple and white trim. 0-1 from Tyndall, and Washington Jr. pops that into right. Diaz tracking back, and he'll make the grab to retire the side. A 4-spot on 4 hits, a couple of errors, and a couple left on. We'll head to the bottom of the second. The Jackalopes have jumped on top, 4-0.
Located just west of future Legends Field, is a healthy, on-the-go option for Windsor and its surrounding areas. They serve healthy meal replacement shakes, energy and metabolism boosting teas, protein coffee with the goal of making our community healthier and happier. Becker Safety and Supply has you covered from head to toe. They provide industry-leading products and services to help keep you safe. Located in Windsor and Greeley and online at beckersafety.com.
Heart of the order due up for Northern Colorado. Abdel Guadalupe will lead it off, followed by Matthews and Glenn. The Owls will look for some offense here after conceding a 4-spot in the top half of the inning. The first pitch from Kleinsorge inside for ball 1 to Wada. Comes into the ball game batting .367. And here he wraps the ground ball to Gordon at short. He'll scoop it up, and that throw sails on him. That's out of play. And Wada will head to second. An E6. As that throw was rising all the way. And it's an error that moves Guadalupe into scoring position. So the first base runner of the afternoon for the Owls. That will bring up Dave Matthews. Matthews came on as a pinch hitter in Game 2 and started Game 1 of the doubleheader, the 25-year-old from Connecticut. First pitch from Kleinsorge to Matthews. It's in for strike one at the top of the zone. Mentioned Kleinsorge, his college ball at Regis and Creighton in his first professional season. This year, the 24-year-old made his debut against Boise through an inning. And here Matthews wraps that ball foul down the first base line. And it's 0-2, the count from Kleinsorge. Kleinsorge, a quick peek at Guadalupe dancing off of second, and now he deals, and that's a base hit into center field for Matthews. They're going to send Abdel home. He will score without a throw. And the Owls take advantage of the error and play to run. It's 4-1. And that will bring up catcher Josh Glenn. Glenn, in Game 1 of the doubleheader, was 1 for 4. Good enough to keep his hit streak moving and his batting average stable. And on the first pitch, he pops that up in foul ground by first base Johnson looking for it. And he will backpedal and make the catch for a quick out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. As Peyton Robertson, who's got some new walk-up music for the homestand, and it's very, very fun. Robertson, prior to the game, we were setting up cameras and made the comment that if we keep a camera in the outfield, he's going to hit it. Here, a first pitch fly ball into right field. Under it is Washington Jr. Matthews having to get back to first, and he won't do it. A double play as Matthews was on the move, and he is cut down to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and no runners left on base. We'll head to the top of the third, 4-1, as the Owls get on the board. Welcome back here for the top of the third here at Future Legends Field. Mark Tyndall back out on the hill. And I mean to tell you, I have to say, I think this crowd might be better than opening night. It is filling up still. here in Windsor this afternoon. Anthony Ray will lead off the top of the third for the Jackalopes after Grand Junction was able to drop a crooked number, a 4 spot in the top of the second. First pitch from the right-hander, Tyndall. And that's low for ball 1. Mark sporting a very nice mustache out on the hill. I'm quite jealous. Now, there are some people that, with the mustache, it really goes one of two ways. It either looks really good or it needs to be shaved immediately. There is no in-between with that particular piece of facial hair. You can't even lie about, I'm growing it in, I'm trying it out, right? You could do that with a beard or a goatee, but not with a mustache. 2-1. The count to the DH Ray. Fouls that back, and it's 2-2. The one-time Cardinal draft pick singled to center in his first at-bat from Chicago, Illinois. The 2-2 from the righty Tyndall. And that's lined right back up the middle for a base hit. Splits the wickets on Tyndall. And Ray 2 for 2. And the leadoff runner aboard here in the first. Austin Shoemaker, the catcher, will bat. And Shoemaker was trying to give himself up. It was a bunt. A bat throw from Higgins allowed him to reach base safely. Shoemaker will try and get some more production here for the Jackalopes. Higgins creeping in, and on the first pitch, he rifles the ball. It'll fall in right field in front of Diaz for a base hit. The throw to Robertson, and they've got Shoemaker in a rundown. Now let's see if they try and score the runner. They are going to get Ray caught in a rundown. Ray's trying to get back to third. He's out. Shoemaker safe at second. And
9-6, 3-5-4. A lot of numbers.
That is quite the scorebook jargon there for you. I think they all got confused. It was the battle for the 9-7-0 this weekend, not the battle for the 9-6-3-4-5-2-6.
If it were, the Owls won.
And the grand irony of it all is this is exactly the situation Grand Junction kind of wanted. 1 out and a runner on second. That was the whole point of the bunt. Or of the hit and run, rather, as that's fouled back to the screen by Wong, and it's 1-1.
They just got there in a more complicated way. The out wasn't what they wanted.
No. Well, and you wondered, too, at what point they were going to send Ray from third.
Yeah, and getting stuck between first and second, that's almost by design. You want to give the runner going from third to home as much time as possible. And when you can get hung up in a rundown, we talked about this with the bunts, make the defense play defense. Make them make the throw. Coots made an excellent throw all the way across the diamond to third base, which was able to get the runner at third in that pickle, eventually leading to the out. And from there, they did what they needed to, as that one shot down the line.
Wong will stop at first. It's an RBI single. The inside out's the ball that will plate Shoemaker. And Grand Junction gets that run right back. They've restored their 4-run lead and lead 5-1 here in the top of the third. As Colin Gordon will get his second at bat. And there is some stirring down in the Owl bullpen. First pitch from Tyndall to Gordon in for strike one. And it looks like it's Will Burakonak down in the bullpen. It's hard to miss at 6'8". was excellent last year for the Owls. Rejoined the team. A 1 from Tyndall to Gordon. And Gordon rips that ball into right field for a base hit. Station to station, Wong will stop at second. And runners at first and second, and one away here in the top of the third.
Yeah, it's obvious the Jackalopes' MO in this one has been station to station. Move people over with bunts, play smart, strategical offense, rather than just, mash the ball as far as I can. No, get a guy on, have good at-bats, move people over, station to station, play within your strengths, and go from there.
First-year manager with the club, Chris Nabenshu, is molding this unit as the first pitch to Figueredo misses. Nabenshu had a long minor league career, playing as high as the AAA level, 10 years in the system. 2-0 count to Figueredo, who's 1 for 2. He doubled to left center last time up. It plated 2 runs for the Jakes as he fouls that out of play. And I have to say, from a high-energy perspective, Figueredo rivals Abdel Guadalupe, and there's not many folks that can do that.
No, high-energy people, they're fun for your club. They're fun for the fans, and every team needs at least one of them.
2-1 from Tyndall to Figueredo, misses outside. Glenn tried to hold that spot on the outside corner, and it's 3-1. Figueredo entered the ball game batting .354 with 6 home runs and 22 runs batted in. Not bad work at the top of the order if you can get it. Hitters count to the switch hitting third baseman. The 3-1 on the way from Tyndall. Fastball in for strike 2, and that'll run the count full. This would be a big strikeout here for Tyndall if he can get it. Double play ball would be some kind of nice as well. The payoff pitch to Figueredo. Fouled straight back, and it bounces right back out in front of home plate. It's always something you have to be mindful of with the screen as close as it is.
Yeah, we've seen some come all the way back out to the pitcher off this chain link fence.
The 3-2 again on the way from the right-hander, Tyndall. And Figueredo pops that up foul down the left field line and out of play. Wong still off of second, and Gordon off of first after back-to-back base hits for the pair. Tyndall gets the sign from Glenn and delivers. Figueredo pops that straight back over the press box and onto the concourse. And man, there is just something about these long at-bats.
Yeah, it was prevalent all through yesterday's ball games for these Jackalopes. Work the count full, fight off till you get your pitch, or you draw the walk. That's just a great at-bat.
Payoff pitch. Figueredo ground ball to second. Could be 2, 4, 6, 3. A double play to retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 runner left. We'll head to the bottom of the third. The Owls within slam range. It's 5-1.
For the Jackalopes, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
Jimenez, Higgins, and George due up for the Owls here in the bottom half of the third. And again, Ben, there's just so much could be said, but it's a beautiful day for baseball. Not a cloud in the sky, a full ballpark, and just the way that the schedule has worked out. This is, of all of the holidays that you get on the baseball calendar, Memorial Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, this is the only one of those big holidays the Owls get at home this year, and the folks here in Windsor are showing up.
Yeah, great crowd out here at the Future Legends Complex, all the way out through the bleachers. That's just awesome, and I think specifically on Father's Day for a lot of people, baseball's a great connector between them and their dad. You grow up watching it together. You play catch in the yard together. He's your first hitting coach for a lot of people. So it's a great day to celebrate that.
Kleinsorge, first pitch off speed, misses downstairs to Kevin Jimenez. And, you know, I can still remember back at Qualcomm Stadium, R.I.P. fella, first Padres game I ever went to with my family. And, you know, here we are a whole bunch of years later and getting to bring Pioneer League Baseball to you through Flow Sports and through Mixler. And it's something that, you know, is a great connecting experience. You know, I'm flying home next week, and what are my brother and my dad and I going to do but go to a Padres game? Exactly.
I remember the first baseball game I ever went to. My dad came home and was like, hey, the Rockies are doing really well this season. This was 2007.
Jimenez, a line drive and a leaping grab by Gordon for out number one.
And he was like, the Rockies are doing really well. We should go to a game. And that was the first baseball game we went to. Just bought some tickets, sat in the third deck. That doesn't even exist anymore there. The seats that I sat in are gone.
Oh,
Kinda
in right
sad.
field?
In right field. There's a party deck there now. But it was just that, my dad coming home being, hey, we should go to a game. Sounds like fun. And it inspired a lifelong love of baseball. So, and by lifelong, I mean since age 9. But, you know.
That's close enough.
That's basically my entire life.
1-0 to Kevin Higgins as he takes the first pitch fastball up and away. Here slices this one foul over the bleachers and onto the concourse. Can see a couple of people walking, and they stopped moving and started looking around like, where did the baseball come from? We were just walking here. This was safe 5 seconds ago.
This is our walking path.
1-1, and Higgins a pop-up on the infield. Johnson and Hubbard converged between first and second. Hubbard will make the grab. 2 up, 2 down, and that's now 4 straight retired by Kleinsorge. Oh, the pizza smells good today. I was just getting a whiff of that.
Ooh. There's a good selection of concessions today at Future Legends. There's some Dole Whip.
We have to avail ourselves of more of those, I think.
I agree.
First pitch fastball in for strike one to Henry George.
I think the whole next inning should just be video while we go eat lots of ice cream.
Yeah, George takes strike two towards the top of the zone from Kleinsorge. We just go with it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't finished my coffee from earlier.
Fastball up and away, pulls Shoemaker out of the crowd for ball one.
Combine the two, make it an affogato.
Yeah, there you go. No, I tell you, the food here is, the few times I get to have it, very delicious. 1-2, George fouls that off down the left field line.
Given my history, it's a miracle I haven't gotten more food.
I think that just means we're exceptionally busy up here is all.
We are. I've become more disciplined since my college days.
1-2, and George a little flare into foul ground and scampering over to the fence, and making the grab is Figueredo, and the Owls go down in order. We'll step aside for a quick message from Flow Sports. 5-1 headed to the fourth.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on, and after 3 complete, the Jackalopes lead Owlz 5-1.
Top of the fourth, and a new pitcher out on the mound for the Owls. Will Burakonak is back here in northern Colorado. The long left-hander back out on the hill. And Burakonak, this won't be his first appearance since returning to the Owls. It'll be his second. He pitched in Grand Junction, but man, he cuts an imposing figure out on the hill.
Yeah, 6'8", 240 pounds, 25-year-old. He's going to come at you with a fastball, changeup, slider. That's a good mix for a guy from that left side. Anytime you get a tall lefty, that's an imposing figure if you're a left-handed batter, which Joe Johnson is. So,
yeah, we'll start with two lefties here in the top half of the fourth with Johnson and Cruz sandwiching Jalen Hubbard. And ironically enough, this is how Burakonak's Owl career began last year as he backs up Johnson with ball one. Started the season really as a swingman out of the bullpen for Northern Colorado, and by the end of the season last year, he was their best starting pitcher, and he had some dominant outings down the stretch as Johnson pops that into the stratosphere on the left side of the infield. Robertson charges in. He'll make the catch. 1 up, 1 down.
great start there. 2 pitches, get the fly out. It's a great start to this 4th inning if you're the Owls.
Yeah, the left-hander last year was 5-3. Made 18 appearances, 14 starts, a 5.11 earned run average. He struck out 89 batters in 88 innings. Here the fastball misses outside to Hubbard for ball 1. And even though he's got 3 pitches listed on the arsenal, we saw over the back half, the second half of the season last year, his slider, at times he was very effective taking off velocity to make it look almost more curveball-esque to add another wrinkle to the arsenal as he gets Hubbard to fly out to right field for the second out.
Yeah, adding dimension to that breaking pitch. That's always what you want to do as a pitcher. Anything you could do to get those couple more inches of breaks, anything you can do to get to the dive just further away to a hitter or further into a hitter, as it does to the right-handed hitter there, that'll make you more and more successful.
And Cruz rolls the first pitch right back up the middle once again. Just doesn't overswing, just puts the head of the bat at the ball, and he's aboard with his second hit of the day.
Baseball bats, they're designed to hit baseballs. You don't have to do too much.
Not
saying it's easy.
It's the whole purpose of the tool.
Exactly. It is specifically designed to hit a baseball well.
As Ron Washington Jr. steps in, 0 for 2 so far on the afternoon. And a first pitch changeup. Did he go? First base umpire says Washington Jr. able to hold up. And it's 1-0. Burakonak out of the stretch. Misses down and in with the fastball. And it's 2-0 now.
2 outs for him coming via the fly out, one to the shortstop, one all the way out into right field. Take that here.
2-0 from Burakonak and catches the outside corner low and away. And it's 2-1.
There's that changeup. Kind of dances away from the right-handed hitter, and that's useful when you can get that spin on it because your slider will cut in. As that one's bounced high, chopped to third base, going to second for the third out of the inning.
Higgins makes the play, and the side retired. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. Burakonak, a scoreless top half. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Jackalopes on top, 5-1.
For the Jackalopes, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left off. On the search for merch, take a peek at our merch. Hats, hoodies, shirts, souvenirs. Find it all at our merch tent located right behind the main seating area. Today's merch item of the game is our Relax Fit Dad Hat on sale for just $20. Take a trip to our tent
2, 3, 4 due up for the Owlz against Justin Kleinsorge here in the bottom of the fourth. And, again, we harp on it a lot. You don't want to leave it all for late if you're the Owlz, but Kleinsorge has been very good. I mean, you think about the run, that wasn't really his fault. The runner reached on an error.
Yeah, and we'll have to check with Chuck. Would that be an unearned run on Blindsore? The run he gave up in the last inning. But
it should be. He wouldn't have reached base otherwise.
Yeah, it should be. And he came into this one with a 1.50 ERA.
He's done nothing but drop that as, again, Diaz pokes a ball to third on the first pitch. And Figueredo, who has been busy today, retires the Owl right fielder. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom half of the fourth for Jackson Coots.
1 pitch, 1 out. Nothing more you can ask from your pitcher. He's working fast in this one as well.
I mean, a perfect game is 27 up, 27 down, an ultra perfecto. I want to see 27 up, 27 down on 27 pitches.
I want to see one on 81 pitches, but they're all 3-pitch strikeouts.
Ooh, that's like a 300 in bowling.
I think that's more. That's like a 900 in bowling.
How would you?
It's not even possible.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you even? I don't think you can do that. As Coots fouls off the 1-0 delivery down the left field line. He and Henry George, prior to the game today, were out here having a nice round of rousing game of fungo golf.
Nothing more fun than fungo golf.
Here, a sharp ground ball to second. Hubbard will pick it up and get it over to first. 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth, and Kleinsorge has settled in 7 in a row, retired for the right-hander.
For those of you unfamiliar with the rules of fungo golf, you start from home plate. You pick a place you want to hit to, decide what par it is, and then you grab a fungo bat and swing as hard as you can. It's a simple sport.
First pitch curveball from Kleinsorge in for strike 1 to Guadalupe. Abdel was the man that reached on the E6, came around to score on the Dave Matthews single here. He lofts a fly ball into right field. Washington Jr. starting back, now moves in a step, and the Owls down in order for the 3rd time in 4 innings. We'll step aside when we return. The top of the 5th awaits. 5-1, Grand Junction on top.
For the Owls, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on. I'd say probably watching them grow up and see their happiness and joy on their face. And then my most recent memory is her being able to pick what song I come out to when I'm pitching. And I wish happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you have a great day.
Brendan Price alongside Ben Shoemate here for this Father's Day tilt here in Windsor. Grand Junction on top of Northern Colorado 5-1 after 4 innings. And Ben, the splits are pretty stark for Grand Junction. 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for the Owls, 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors.
Yeah, it's not been a great way to start this game if you're the Owls. You got down early. You got into some trouble with some errors, some unearned runs. And I think if you're the Owls, the comeback, if you're going to make one, it has to start now in this inning. Throw up a 0 like you did last inning and just go from there. Really, the second inning is only the blip on the Owls' radar. That's when they had those 2 errors, which resulted in those 4 runs.
Yeah. And it doesn't work like that, right? Revisionist history. But if you take that second inning away, it's been a very even game. As the first pitch from Burakonak, a changeup down the way, Ray able to hold up on the swing. The Jakes DH 2 for 2, a pair of base hits to center field today. And make him 3 for 3 as he dumps that into right center field. And it's a leadoff single. And Henry George, every time he chases after the ball, he loses his hat out there.
It could be the hat's too big. Could be a hair issue.
Yeah, it just, it doesn't quite, sit right. It's Austin Shoemaker, the Grand Junction catcher, will hit. Squares to bunt, and he fouls that off down the first base line. And defensively, when you see that happen, again, this is the part of the order in the second that was bunting, and your defense was making mistakes. Do you start to feel that deja vu all over again, or do you just ultimately have to leave it?
Ultimately, you have to leave it. You have to buckle down and do your job. You can't try to throw strikeouts. You can't try to single-handedly do it yourself.
That's going to roll foul down the third base line. Smart play by Higgy there to let that roll foul. Because if that ball had been in play, I don't think they would have gotten anybody.
No, it would have been a close play, and perfectly bunted, just like 99% of a perfect bunt. It just barely went on the foul side of that third base line.
And you almost wonder if that had been on infield dirt, if it would have died and stayed fair rather than turf.
It would have bounced around a bit more.
As Burakonak goes with the fastball on the outside corner and misses. And the count 1-2 to Shoemaker.
You also have to think about there's chalk down there, which raises it a little bit. So a lot of factors go into bunting on a turf field rather than a dirt field.
1-2, and there is that slider, almost a slurve from Burakonak. Took something off. Shoemaker out in front, and one away in the top of the fifth.
I believe that renaissance in the majors is called a sweeper. He's got the sweeper working. More vertical movement on or horizontal movement on your slider.
Matt Wong will take a first pitch change up down low for ball one. Grand Junction center fielder 1 for 2. Fastball misses inside. Wong in the driver's seat ahead 2-0. He reached on an E1 in the second and singled in a run in the third. And the real question, Ben, this being the battle for the 9-7-0, Wong, a high chopper over Higgins, who was playing in. This could be trouble down the left field line. It's going to turn into a hustle double for Wong. Runners at second and third. I don't know that you're going to hit a softer double than that.
No, and we saw that at the end of last inning. Higgins made a play where he leapt up, caught the ball, and was able to make the throw to second base. That one took an even larger hop, clearly, as it goes over his head. And just a tough break if you're the Owlz there. You do exactly what you mean to. You get him to bounce one on the ground.
It was fairly soft contact as things go, right? For Burakonak, that's exactly what you want to induce.
Launch angle of about -40.
First pitch changeup in for strike one from Burakonak. I was going to say the battle for the 9-7-0. What's the trophy?
That's a good question. Because if you have CSU and Wyoming, they have the boot, right?
Yeah, as it's 0-2 quickly to Gordon, who's flipped around to bat from the right side against the lefty Burakonak. And now the batter, Gordon, will call time.
Could, what's patently, well, it's hard because they're on the
western
slope.
Yeah.
You just get an entire mountain range.
Honestly, it should be some mocked-up version of the Eisenhower Tunnel.
Ooh, that's a good one.
0-2 from Burakonak, misses outside, and it's 1-2.
It's just you get I-70.
Yeah, just a gold-plated Eisenhower Tunnel and then just a little strip of the interstate on either side. 1-2 from Burakonak. Fastball again, misses up and away. Count even 2-2 to Gordon. Infield playing in now with 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 away. And that's fouled off out of play down the first base line by Gordon. These two saw plenty of each other down the stretch last year.
What about a bowl of green chili?
I don't think it quite fits. I think maybe if you were a rivalry with someone in New Mexico, maybe.
Oh, hold on.
2-2 from Burakonak, and that is a slow dribbler, and Burakonak has to backhand it over to first. It's in time to retire Gordon, but with the ball being hit as weakly as it was and up the first base line, Ray able to score. Wong will advance, and it's 6-1 Jakes.
Yeah, that almost operates as a bunt there. It's a full swing and bunt. And just slowed down. Had some weird spin on it, which helped it catch up, and then making the good play over to first base. Make sure you get the out there. That was done well coming off the mound. Pitchers are athletes. Got to sneak that in there.
It's the 5th inning, and you haven't gotten it in there yet.
I know. Just wait till I tell you the rafters are 90% air.
It's an open-air baseball stadium. I think it's a little higher than that here. 1-0 from Burakonak. A fastball in for strike 1. Evens the count to Figueredo. Figueredo 1 for 3 today. Flew out to center in the first. Doubled in 2. Going to the left center field gap in the second and grounded into an inning-ending double play in the third. Here, break out the sword. Burakonak fooled him, and it's 1-2.
That's a tough place to be caught as a batter. You start your swing. That's the bad side of having a yes, yes, no approach. Your 2 yeses override that last and correct no.
1-2 to Figueredo. Got him swinging. He chases the changeup. It's another strikeout for Burakonak, and the inning is over. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 6-1. The Jakes lead the Owls.
For the Jackalopes, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. The Owls fans home roommates, Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC are on a 6-match unbeaten streak. They return to Future Legends Field next Saturday, June 24th, to take on Central Valley Fuego at 7 p.m. Secure your seat for the match by visiting hailstormfc.com and clicking on tickets. Fans, can I get a hell yeah?
Bottom of the 5th. Matthews, Glenn, and Robertson due up for the Owls. They're looking to find some offense here against the right-hander, Justin Kleinsorge, who has set down 8 in a row. And Ben, you mentioned it. He's working very quickly, and when you're being effective, you don't want to slow the game down.
Nope, you don't want to let the batters catch a breath. You don't want to let anything get in between you and doing what you've been doing well all game. So work fast, work confident. That's what he's been doing in this one. And he doesn't have a reason to stop. You don't even really want to talk to anybody in the dugout. Just stay in your zone.
First pitch from Kleinsorge to Dave Matthews. Off speed, Matthews swings over it for strike 1.
It can be an isolating experience pitching a good ball game.
Dave, the only hit of the ball game for the Owls, a single to center field in the second. Plated Guadalupe to get the Owls their only run thus far. But again, as we talk about with these two teams, comebacks aplenty. when the battle for the 970 gets going. Here, Klein Sorge, a beautiful off-speed pitch there, and it's 1-2.
We talked a bit more about a trophy during the break. In case you were wondering what we do when you can't hear us.
It's mostly the same thing that we do when you can.
We
talk about a little baseball. We riff about whatever random thought, squirrel, happens to go across our brain. But, yeah, that's what we do during the break. 1-2, and Matthews gets a piece of the foul tip. Stays alive for another pitch.
So we talked about getting like the body of an owl.
Yep.
And putting a jackalope head on it. And there we go.
Trophy, done. Sorted.
Patent pending.
We'll be on the patent office first thing
Monday morning.
1-2 from Klein Sorge. Fastball misses up and away, ball 2. And the count even 2-2. And all these folks bringing concessions into the stands. It's making me very hungry.
Yeah, rumor is spreading fast across the press booth. The ice cream has sprinkles.
Matthews fouls that off down the left field line. I have not availed myself of the soft serve ice cream yet.
I had the cheesesteak. Very good.
Yeah, I've heard rave reviews about that as well.
I endorse the cheesesteak.
2-2 on the way from Klein Sorge. And Matthews, a sharp grounder over the diving Hubbard and into right center field. Dave will round to first and stop there. And the hit counter for Dave Matthews up to 2. And he's aboard to lead off the bottom of the 5th.
Well, someone's seeing the ball well in this one. Matthews with his second hit.
Matthews now hits in back-to-back ball games as Glenn fouls the first pitch back.
He wanted that one.
He just missed it, too. Haven't seen many mistakes from Klein Sorge, and I think Glenn there almost made the most of one. 0-1. And on the move is Matthews. The throw down is offline. It's going to skip and roll into center field. And Dave, do it all Dave right now. Steals second, forces a bad throw, and advances to third.
Opportunistic. Stolen base E2. The error is going to go to the catcher. And opportunistic Matthews moving up. That's what you need here. You're down 5 runs. You don't need. You just need to start somewhere, right? And a runner on first base with nobody, or third base with nobody out. Oh, that's a good place to start. Good a place as any.
Glenn in a 1-1 count. The pitch from Klein Sorge misses up. And Josh in a hitter's count. Ahead 2-1. And the Owls this season have been almost perfect on the bases when it comes to stealing. 38 for 43 now on the year. That'll push them just awfully close to 90%. I don't do good math off the top there. But again, when they go, they're disciplined and they don't get caught. 2-2. Glenn able to hold up on a pitch in the dirt.
I believe that's close to 84%.
That'll run the count full. Is it 38 out of 43? I'm going to take 89. That's my guess.
It is 88. So we're both wrong.
Glenn, a slow roller to short. Gordon charges. The throw is
Not in
late.
time.
It's an RBI infield base hit for Josh Glenn as he keeps a career best hitting streak climbing. Josh now hits in 9 straight as Peyton Robertson will get a chance to try and keep the line moving here for the Owls.
Splintered bat, but hey, it's worth it when you can drive the run in and get yourself on base, help your team out. Got Peyton Robertson up now.
So $100 run batted in for Josh Glenn as Robertson takes the first pitch fastball down and in. And again, a happy Father's Day to Peyton as well. one of 3 Owls who are proud papas in uniform today. As a curveball from Kleinsorge clips the outside corner down and away.
Great breaking pitch there. That's all you can ask for that breaking pitch, is to have it start over the plate and just disappear.
1-1 from Kleinsorge to Robertson. Fastball at the top of the zone. Robertson was a little frustrated with the zone at points yesterday, and I don't think he loved that call. It looked like if it clipped the top of the zone, it didn't do it by much.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a tad high. And pitches that are called strikes high, as that one's lined, gloved by the shortstop. Glenn able to get back to first base safely. So a hard out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
And that will bring up Kevin Jimenez. Still looking for his first hit. He was 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly in game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. 0 for 1 today with a line out. And a first pitch strike taken by the former New Mexico State Aggie.
Yeah, high strike calls or pitches that you thought were out of the zone high, those are the ones that really sting, because those are the ones you feel like you can do the least about as a hitter.
Curveball gets away. Trying to take second is Glenn, and he will do so without a throw. On the wild pitch, takes the double play out of order. Love a first professional hit and second professional RBI right about here if you are Jimenez. The 1-1 from Kleinsorge. And Jimenez fouls that off. A dribbler towards the Grand Junction dugout for strike 2.
I think you'd find more hitters who'd say they like hitting a ball that's lower out of the zone than a ball that's high out of the zone. So when that strike starts getting called, it's a bit frustrating. I understand Robertson's frustrations. That one misses outside for ball 2.
Well, Jimenez, disciplined plate appearance thus far.
It's got to be when you're staring at a 3 spot in the hit column and you got some runs to make up.
2-2 from Kleinsorge. That fastball misses up and away. And that pitch to righties was a strike.
It was. Robertson's in the dugout.
Yeah, Robertson's fuming down there. He's like, where was that?
Wondering what's going on.
Full count to Jimenez from Kleinsorge. The payoff pitch. And Kevin gets under it, flies it into deep center field. Wong is back, still drifting. He'll make the catch. They're going to try and send Glenn to third. The throw is well late. He's safe standing up. And there's 2 away, and another runner advances 90 feet.
Taking those extra 90s. You're back into slam range if you're the Owls, but you just want to keep narrowing that gap. You understand that the guy on the mound has been pitching lights out in this one. So any extra 90 you can take, any free 90 you can find, has to be the number 1 priority. Excellent job by Glenn.
As Higgins fouls the first pitch straight back.
The run in this one officially now earned. Thanks to the sacrifice fly, the runner would have scored anyway.
A 1 from Kleinsorge to Higgins. Off speed. You don't typically see a pitcher want to go up and in with off speed. There's so much potential for watching it get lifted out of the ballpark or hanging one. Fastball misses inside. Higgins ahead 2-1. Two one from Kleinsorge to Higgins. And Kevin chased a fastball up and in to even the count 2-2.
That's one where your eyes get big. You're thinking it's going to be an off-speed pitch low and away, and you see that fastball up and in. You think, ooh, I can do something with this. And that's just a little bit higher and a little bit more inside than you were hoping.
And there, Kleinsorge misses upstairs, and the count full to Higgins. With the top of the order, Henry George waiting on deck. Payoff pitch. And Higgy swinging away, fouls that up and out of play down the first base line.
Professional AB by Higgins.
Kevin entered the ball game batting .348 with no home runs and 6 runs batted in. Payoff pitch from Kleinsorge again. And Kevin flares this into center, and it will carry far enough for Wong to reel it in to retire the side. The Owls get a run on a couple of hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We'll head to the top of the 6th, 6-2. Jackalopes lead.
At the end of the 5th inning for your Owls, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on. Meadow Gold Dairy, farmer owned and community loved. 83 family owned DFA farms and more than 100,000 cows supply your local Meadow Gold Dairy. Thank you for supporting your local dairy farmers. U.S. Foods is the official food supply partner of Future Legends Complex. OT Sports is the official on-field uniform and apparel provider of the Owlz. Fans, if you are seated near the backstop, please do not place your hands or fingers on or in between the chain link. You can be seriously injured if your hand or fingers are struck by a batted or thrown ball. Thank you for your cooperation.
Will Burkonak back out on the hill for Northern Colorado here as we prepare for the top of the 6th. And, as you mentioned, this is the last game of 9 consecutive that these two teams have played against each other. They split their 6-game series in Grand Junction. So the Jackalopes, with that twin bill sweep yesterday, have secured themselves at least 5 wins in the first 9 meetings of the year. And that's just one of the unique things about the Pioneer League and the minor league level and the partner league level in general. I challenge the Major League schedule to build it where the Dodgers and Padres or the Rockies and Giants play 9 games in a row against each other.
I think there would be a little bit of protest. Just a tad.
You think the players might get tired of it?
I think the players might get tired of it. I think the fans might get a little tired of it.
Yeah, I actually think that the people leading that charge, probably, that's got to be your ticket sales department. They're like, no, please, don't do this to us. Joe Johnson ahead at 1-0 on Burkonak. Johnson, slow grounder to second. Jimenez will take his time and get the throw over to first. And this is what we saw from Will Burkonak last year. I mean, all he does is get outs. It's not flashy, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, and when you see the build, 6'8", 240, you think your mind goes to people like Randy Johnson.
Yep.
Like, oh, flamethrower. He's going to come at guys, get loads and loads of strikeouts. He's working in weak contact. He'll get a swing and a miss like he does just there.
Hubbard right over the changeup. And on the flip side, it's not to say that he can't strike dudes out. He set the season franchise record with 88 last year as he misses down the way, evens the count 1-1 to Hubbard.
Yeah, but it's more multifaceted than that.
Yep.
Getting weak contact, pitching to contact, and being able to control that, it's a great attribute for a pitcher to have, especially coming out of the bullpen. That one's fly deep into the right center field gap.
And that is over the fence. It is a solo home run for Jalen Hubbard. And the broadcast booth will take the L on that. Curse of the commentator rears its ugly head, and it's 7-2 Jackalopes.
That one's me.
That's yeah, we just got done talking about producing weak contact, and not only does Jalen Hubbard homer, he goes oppo into the gap.
Into that power alley.
Thought we decided yesterday that right field down the line was the power alley.
Oh, it's all of right field.
It's Jacob Cruz takes the first pitch, changeup for strike one. 2 for 3 today is the Jake's left fielder. Struck out swinging in the first, doubled in the second, and singled in the fourth. And here he's fooled by the sweeper, I guess we'll call it, and it's 0-2. And here, Cruz down on 3 pitches. Uno, dos, adios, and there's 2 away in the top of the 6th. It's Ron Washington Jr., the only Jackalope to not join the party today. 0 for 3. Struck out swinging in the first, flew out to right in the second, and was a fielder's choice to end the 4th inning. One-0 from the left-hander Burakonak. Misses inside, and Washington Jr. in the driver's seat at 2-0. Fastball fouled off out of play down the first base side.
You know, I'm still waiting for a foul ball to hit the press booth. Like, I know it has to go up and over.
Oh, but
the
hit
fence,
the roof.
But to hit the roof.
I'm not ready for that.
You're not ready? Oh.
No.
I ain't ready. I like to live life on the edge.
I'd probably jump through the window. I wouldn't be expecting it. It's 2-2 to Washington Jr. Burakonak a strike away from setting down Grand Junction here in the top of the 6th.
Kazu's blaring.
And that's a liner right at Jimenez, who ranges to his right to make the play and retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit, thanks to Jalen Hubbard's home run to the bottom of the 6th. 7-2, Jakes lead the Owls.
For the Jackalopes, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on.
I'm Jason Olskar. I'm here with Jackie and Michelle, and we are the Olskar team, powered by C3 Real Estate.
We are proud to partner with Jackalopes to help fulfill the lifestyle needs, wants, and desires of each family who wants to call Colorado home.
C3 stands for character, culture, and commitment. That is core to who we are, and the exceptional values that every client will experience when working with us. If you value working with an experienced team, we invite you to reach out to schedule time to meet with us.
Bottom of the 6th, you're in the battle for the 9-7-0. Grand Junction and Northern Colorado. Brendan Price alongside Ben Shoemate. And
Howdy.
again, just want to thank everybody for spending some of their Father's Day with us here on Flow Sports or Mixler, whatever your device of choice is.
Yeah. It's always a great time. We all love baseball. It's a great time to just spend some time together, chatting about it.
Well, right now, I think the Jackalopes loving things a little bit more than Northern Colorado. A 7-2 lead as Henry George, top of the Owl order, will lead off. First pitch from Kleinsorge. Misses down low, 59-foot breaking ball, and Henry gets ahead in the count, 1-0.
Promotion day. Not only Father's Day, we had a promotion. Nice Owlz apron for grilling, all of your cooking needs.
Yeah, they. I'm glad I didn't get one. Somebody might confuse me with the person that cooks or grills. 1-1 fastball misses outside to George, and it's 2-1.
I think you, if you put your mind to it, and you worked real hard,
Lots of practice. Lots of training. 2-1 fastball misses inside. George ahead 3-1.
I think of anybody I know, I think you could pull it off.
I don't know what that says about the people you know, because I know me, you see. 3-1 from Kleinsorge, and George crushes this ball. Esa pelota se fue. That was a Grande Liga home run from Henry George over the wall in right field. It's his 6th of the year, and the Owls get the run right back.
Well, that's one way to do it. It's been a frustrating afternoon. That's just the Owls' 4th hit in this one, but a big one it was. George yanks that one over that right field wall.
And now Diaz for the 3rd at bat. First pitch hunting, and for the 3rd at bat, he's retired on a ground out.
But George now, he can go back into that dugout and he can start telling people, hey, let's get these bats going. We can send it over the wall. We can hit this guy. And this is the right part of the lineup to do so. Jackson Coots now.
Coots 0 for 2. And the first pitch from Kleinsorge misses down and away. Some advanced stretching going on down in the Jakes bullpen in the right field corner. 1-0 curveball. Coots frozen, and the count even 1-1.
Not sure that's the spot he wants to hit there. Missing high with the curveball. Dangerous pitch to a batter like Coots, but able to freeze him.
And a 58-foot breaking ball for ball 2.
Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, we've talked about him working fast and efficiently in this one, but it's not outside the realm of possibility to think he might be losing the grip on a couple of his pitches, losing his spot.
Here, Coots rolls the ball foul down the first base line. Good play by Johnson, ranging to his left, and the count 2-2. Well, and this is that dreaded 3rd time through the order, right, where all those splits start to get away from you in a hurry.
Yeah, you see the pitcher's first at-bat approach, and then you see the second, and then you start to get a real good idea of where they're going to work from there. Because first time through, you're going to see a lot of fastballs. Second time through, that's when you get the breaking pitches in. And then when you can think, hey, I've seen what he's got. I know what it looks like. Let's go out and hit it.
Coots hits that to deep right center field. That's going to hop around at the base of the wall. Coots is hustling to get into second, and he's safe with a double. And Jackson Coots, the beat goes on for the big fella over at first base. It's a 5-game hitting streak now for Coots, and he puts himself in scoring position for the heart of the Owls order.
Yeah, and you look at this inning. Henry George, home run. Big double there to deep right center field by Coots. And we're going to get a mound visit now.
Yeah, meeting of the minds for the Jakes, and I wonder if this is, again, the twofer of settle down your pitcher, Kleinsorge, and give the bullpen a few extra quick heater tosses to get moving.
Yeah, you still have the 4-run lead, but now it's a bit different. You got the heart of this lineup. You got a man on second base after he just rocketed one on a line off the fence.
And you know, right off the bat, initially, I really thought that Matt Wong in center field had a play on that. He looked like he was already playing deep and had taken a pretty good route.
Well, that's how you know a guy gets good wood on a hit, is when he's able to get lift under. He's able to backspin it a little bit on that line, and that'll help the ball carry. Just get a little bit more Magnus effect on it. It's what gives fastballs their run. If you get a lot of spin on it, almost looks like the ball rises even though it doesn't. And the same is true for hitters.
First pitch slider from Kleinsorge catches the strike zone, much to the dismay of the Owl faithful.
And some batters, just with their swing plane, are better at it than others, being able to get that backspin on it without popping out. And Coots, I think, is one of those guys.
And Wada delivers this ball to deep left center field. Track, wall, esa pelota se fue. It's a 2-run home run for Abdel Guadalupe. His 9th of the season. And here come the Owls in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, we just sang the praises of Coots, and now we have to sing the praises of Abdel Guadalupe, destroying that one into left center. And don't look now, but it's a 2-run game here at Future Legends Complex.
Well, the Owls using the long ball again. Another couple of home runs today for the Owls. As they continue to lead the league in that category.
And if you're the Jackalopes, you're not out of the woods yet. Dave Matthews. And we're going to get a pitching change. I was going to say he already comes into this at-bat with 2 hits. The only guy who had been seeing him well all game, and after giving up 2 long balls and a booming double, they're not going to let him get a third at-bat.
So the Jakes will go to the bullpen for the first time. We'll step aside. It's a brand new ball game in Windsor. 7-5, the Owls trail.
Coming in relief for Grand Junction, right-handed pitcher number 15, Connor White.
Right-hander Connor White will take over on the hill in relief of Justin Kleinsorge. The Jackalope starting pitcher goes 5 1/3, allows 6 hits, 5 runs, just 4 of them earned. Doesn't walk a batter, and he didn't strike anybody out either. The Owls looking for some more offense with 2 home runs already in the inning.
Yeah, a great bounce-back hitting here for the Owls, and nobody better to keep it going than the man at the plate right now, Dave Matthews, a man more than capable of punishing the baseball.
For White on the season, this will be his 7th appearance of the year. And the first pitch from the right-hander to Dave Matthews is a fastball for strike 1. A 1 from White to Matthews, who's 2 for 2 today. And as you mentioned before we went to break, Ben, Matthews had both of his hits off Kleinsorge, and it's not really someone that you wanted to see face a third time, necessitating the pitching change.
Yeah, it's really forcing your hand as a manager.
2-1 to Matthews.
When a guy has already been having a great game against a guy who was pitching a good game up till this point. when he comes up for that third time.
2-1. Matthews backs up out of the way of the pitch inside, and it's 3-1. Hitters count for the Owl left fielder. And that ball is golfed to deep left field. Esta pelota se fue. Back-to-back jacks. Guadalupe and Matthews go yard. And it's 7-6.
What did I say? The perfect guy at the plate. Dave Matthews sends the third home run of the inning out to left field. And it's just a one-run ball game, 7-6 now, as a monster bottom of the sixth inning puts the Owls right back in this one.
On the catch now for Josh Glenn, as it were. You don't want to overswing here.
No, you got to the big boppers. Josh Glenn more than capable of hitting a home run here, but he's got to do what he does best. He has a single already in this one as well.
First pitch fastball up and in for ball one. 1-0 from White. And Josh Glenn, slow roller down the third base line, and that's an infield hit. It's not as ostentatious as a round tripper, but you'll take the base runner.
Hey, what do we say? He stayed with it himself. His previous hit was a broken back dribbler. That one, a little swing and bunt up the third base line. And now with still just one out in the inning.
They're going to pinch run De La O for Josh Glenn. And you have to wonder if this means that Stev may be in motion at some point. He's got 4 Pilfered Pillows on the season, but he is always a threat to move. First pitch from White to Peyton Robertson. A sharp ground ball to second. Gordon the flip to Hubbard. The throw is in time.
Ooh.
Johnson was able to keep his foot on the bag for an inning-ending double play. But the Owls get 4 runs thanks to 3 home runs, and they are firmly back in the ball game. We'll head to the back third. It's 7-6 Grand Junction.
For the Owls, 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, no runners left on, and after 6 complete, Jackalopes can keep the lead for Owls 7-6. Ruby, what do you have for us this time?
Hey Josh, we got a special guest with us today. This is Glenn, and he has been to over 400 minor league and major league baseball stadiums. He's got 2 left to go to. That's it. So let's give him a big round of applause. And Glenn is going to be playing Guess That Song for us. So we actually have Josh Glenn, who's going to be on the kazoo, playing a little song, and we're going to see if Glenn can guess what song he's playing. So you guys might need to help him out here, but you ready, Glenn?
Ready.
Clemens, what do we think, Glenn?
Well, it's not Ruby Tuesday, so I think it might be Staying Alive.
All right, let's hear it for Glenn one more time. He's going to be going home with a prize pack today. Congrats, Glenn.
Top of the 7th, a new pitcher on the hill for the Owls as right-hander Nate Kajowski will take over. The side-arming right-hander making his third appearance with the Owls. It's a local kid from Denver, Colorado, just down the road. 0-0 with a 4.50 earned run average in 2 innings. Features a sinker, slider, and changeup. And pitched last year with Evansville in the Missouri Valley Conference. And his first assignment will be to try and retire Anthony Ray. 2 different pitchers have taken their try at that. Neither have been able to do so. And on the first pitch, Ray, a fly ball sinking into left field. Matthews there to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for the side-arming right-hander.
Hey, he accomplished the task.
I'll bring up Austin Shoemaker. It's 1 for 3 today with a base hit. Reached on an error and struck out as well. A couple of runs on the scorebook today for the Jakes catcher. And the first pitch, sinker in for strike 1. And, you know, we talked about getting good performances from the bullpen, Ben. Burakonak, 3 innings, allows 4 hits, 2 runs, doesn't walk anybody, strikes out 2, and he gave your offense a chance to come up with a big inning.
Yeah, and the offense took that chance as Coots makes a good play on a line drive over at first base. 2 quick outs here and the top of the 7th, and that's exactly what the Owls need. You had a big inning, set them down 1-2-3, get back out there, keep the momentum rolling.
Matt Wong will try and extend here the top half of the inning that has been moving in a hurry. First pitch, slider misses down the way from Kajowski for ball 1.
Kajowski, he's going to come at you with a sinker slider changeup mix.
1-0, and again, tried to get Wong to offer there. 2 for 3 today with a single, a run batted in, a double, and a run. Very productive day for the Jackalopes center fielder. The 2-0, Wong dribbles that foul behind home plate. The count 2-1. And I tell you, I was just walking around before the game and got my arms sunburned. A very commendable effort from all the fans. That's a base hit for Wong as he dribbles one on the left side of the infield. Commend all the fans for sticking it out in the heat today.
Well, they're being treated to a good ball game. Owls doing what Owls do best, coming back late in this one. A little bit of a weak dribbler there. Owls have been burnt several times. Speaking of sunburns, they've been burnt several times by bunts and swinging bunts.
Again, Grand Junction now 14 hits, and they have had a lot. Infield hits, another slow roller. Kajowski off the mound. Tough throw, and that's going to get away. And Jimenez with a great play, and what a strike to third. Jimenez backs up the throw, guns it across the diamond, and cuts down Wong, who was trying to take an extra 90 feet. 7th inning stretch time in Windsor, a 1-run ball game. Well, the man who made the outstanding defensive play to end the top of the 7th will lead off here in the bottom of the 7th. Kevin Jimenez, followed by Higgins and George, against the right-hander Connor White. And the first pitch from White misses downstairs to Jimenez, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, an excellent play, an excellent heads-up play, making the right throw. That's a long throw if you think about where that had to come from. And to fire a perfect strike all the way across the diamond from beyond first base all the way to third base, that's close to a 140-foot throw, and he made it look easy.
1-1, the count from White to Jimenez. And that curveball misses down and in. It's 2-1.
And now, after making a play like that, you kind of have to take a few breaths in between innings, have the 7th inning stretch, settle your heart rate down, and get ready to hit.
2-1. And Jimenez takes a fastball high for ball 3.
Yeah, and it looks like he did just that as he was able to work a 3-1 count.
3-1 from White to Jimenez. And he'll foul that off down the left field line. And the count full to the 24-year-old infielder. Hails from Tucson, Arizona. White gets the sign from Shoemaker and delivers the payoff pitch. And Jimenez pops this up. Looking for it, Figueredo. He'll call off help, and he'll make the catch right on the foul line for out number 1. And that'll bring up Kevin Higgins, who's 0 for 2 today. Higgins likes to go first pitch hacking. We'll see what White gives him here. And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
It went off speed. May have gotten the same scattering report you had as he worked in with something slow inside.
0-1 from the right-hander White. And Higgins chases that slider down and away. And quickly an 0-2 hole to the Owl third baseman.
Down 0-2. He'll take his timeout, adjust the batting gloves. Saw 2 off-speed pitches already in this at-bat, so you got to think, is he going to see a third? Is he going to see the hard stuff? What's it going to be?
I'd go back to the well. Slider down and away. 0-2. Well, I got half of that right.
You got the slide part right.
Missed up and in, and it counts 1-2. 1-2 from White to Higgins with the bases empty and 1 away. And Higgins, a slow roller. Figueredo will pick it up and sling it across the diamond for out number 2. And, man, Figueredo has been busy today. Just looking across the scorebook. 5 different putouts for the third baseman for Grand Junction today. Feels like we've been saying his name a lot, and the scorebook backs that up.
Yeah, he's a lot of weak contact from these Jackalope pitchers. We've said that a lot today as well, and it seems like the ball has been funneling. We've said Higgins' name a lot as well over at third base.
George thought about showing bunt, pulls it back, and takes. Gets ahead in the count 1-0.
Yeah, the pitch was about halfway home when he thought about bunting and then pulled it back.
That might just be try and get Figueredo to crash over at third as White misses down and in for ball 2.
Could be, but with 2 outs and you homered in your last at-bat, you've got a 2-0 count now. You got to think he's going to have the green light.
That misses up. And George certainly in the driver's seat. He had 3-0. And does that calculus change here when you're in a spot where now you want a 2-out base runner?
I think it does. I was thinking just that. Now, hey, maybe don't swing away. Maybe see what they give you, as that one's called strike. Henry thought it was outside.
Yeah,
Which
so
it may
did
have
just
been.
about everybody in attendance. I think White might have gotten a little help, and it's 3-1.
That
was
one
the,
is a ball.
That was the makeup pitch, because I thought that looked better than the 3-0 fastball for strike one. Either way, no matter which way you slice and dice it, it's a 2-out walk for Henry George. And Euro Diaz, we haven't had much time to talk about him today. He's 0 for 3, 3 outs on 3 pitches.
Well, that means he's swinging. It means he's putting the ball in play.
Here he squares to bunt, pops it foul down the third base line.
Never want to pop a ball up on a bunt, especially not with 2 outs. Doesn't get much easier than that for an infielder. Thankfully, that one falls foul.
White gets the sign and delivers out of the stretch. Well, he'll check George at first. Throw over, short hopped, and Johnson had to leap over George to stop it. And just the way that the Future Legends field is built, because it doubles as a soccer field as well, there is a lot of foul ground. A lot. As that fastball nearly took Shoemaker's arm off trying to catch that. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, there is. We have nets that go into place to protect the fans and the bleachers down the line, but it's down the lines here. We've seen it happen a few times where if you get a hard liner down the line, that rattles around as the runner goes to second, swing and a miss, but George will be safe down there. Another stolen base, a pilfered pillow, as my friend and colleague Brendan Price would say.
You took my line.
I did.
Stolen base number 7 for George, and now puts him in a spot where a base hit could tie the ball game. As Diaz will call time, take that time out that he's elected, or that he gets to use rather. A 2-out walk and then a stolen base. Put the tying run in scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-2 from White. Changeup misses down and away, and it's 2-2. And now if you're White, you don't want to start giving away any more base runners with the heart of the Owl order due up.
Now you want to work your way through right here, right now with 2 outs and 2 strikes. You got to go right at him.
2-2 from White.
Euro has to know that too. He might get a pitch to hit.
Pokes that foul, stayed alive. Got that one, I think, with the top of the bat. Battling at the plate.
Yeah, he was definitely looking fastball. Able to adjust just enough to be able to foul it off.
The 2-2. And Diaz socks this ball to left center field. Wong racing into the gap to make the grab. Man, Wong covered that real estate quickly, and it saved a run and retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Grand Junction leads Northern Colorado 7-6. Top of the 8th, the Owls go to the bullpen for the 3rd time today as left-hander Corey Wills will take over on the mound, and he has become something of a late-inning stopper for this NoCo side.
Yeah, and that's a valuable asset to have. Someone you know can come in and just shut a game down, especially a close game like this one. Corey Wills this season 1-0 record with 2 saves, to your point. He has a 6.52 ERA over 9 2/3 innings pitched. He's appeared in 10 games. He's given up 20 hits, no home runs, just 5 walks, and 16 strikeouts, so he knows how to find the zone. In his last appearance, he went 2 1/3 without, or he went an inning and 2/3 without surrendering a run. And he's going to count you just 2 pitches, fastball, slider, but when they're good, well, you can't hit them.
You only need 2. As he'll deal with Figueredo, Johnson, and Hubbard. And here backs the switch hitting Jackalopes third baseman out of the way for ball 1. Wills, a converted outfielder. Played outfield at Pepperdine University in the WCC. And the 1-0 fastball in ties up Figueredo on the hands, evens the count 1-1.
Yeah, location, location, location. It doesn't just apply to real estate. Pitchers as well, and especially when you only got that 2-pitch mix, 2 good pitches, but you got to spot them well.
Broken bat, foul ball for Figueredo. And it's 1-2. He'll have to get a new stick. Yeah. He's gone into the dugout to grab that. Now he's got one he likes.
Hitters can be very particular about their bats. Got to make sure it's the right weight, the right color.
It's an extension of themselves.
Perfect amount of pine tar. It's important.
1-2 on the way from the southpaw Wills. Fastball up and in. 2-2. Wills touches mid-90s regularly. 2-2. And Figueredo pops that out of play down the first base side. Into the bleachers. Well, somebody gets a souvenir down there.
There's a celebration going on, so someone came up with it.
They're going home a little happier. 2-2 again from Wills. And Figueredo smokes that one foul down the left field line. He's putting together one of them professional at-bats.
Oh, yeah. Almost completely full bleachers. I can't see down the third base line. But if it's indicative of the first base line, pretty full down there, too, as we'll get a timeout.
Announced attendance this afternoon, 1,650. That is a season high here at Future Legends Field, outpacing opening day, wouldn't you just know?
Yeah, and can't imagine a better day for it. Blue skies. Sun is high here at 3:08.
2-2 fastball. Figueredo fouls it straight back.
I can speak from experience. A foul ball coming at you, even if there's a screen in the way, is scary.
It's like a hockey puck on the glass. Doesn't matter. It's just the sound it makes.
Exactly.
2-2 from Wills again. And another foul ball. Yeah, I'm not sure who's more frustrated by this exchange. Corey Wills, Coco Figueredo, or the fans. It feels like a 3-way split right now.
I think that the fans, though, they get the kazoos. They get to get into it. Anytime there's a foul ball, it's just another chance to break out the kazoo the next pitch.
The 2-2 from Wills. And another foul ball from Figueredo. Man. Oh, Corey Wills is throwing everything in the kitchen sink along with some extra L screens, dugout supplies, anything he can muster. Try and get past Figueredo, who's 1 for 4. That one is a screamer into left field, and we'll do it all over again. 6 consecutive foul balls from Figueredo. This will be the 11th pitch of the at-bat.
I mean, you said it yourself, professional at bat. And an excellent job on the mound by Wills to keep throwing strikes.
Misses up and away for ball 3. And the count is full to Figueredo. Payoff pitch from the left-hander Wills. And Figueredo rolls the ball to third, and Higgins can't pick it cleanly. It's an E5 to lead off the 8th.
And a bit of a anticlimactic end to an epic at-bat between Figueredo and Wills.
12 pitches.
But Figueredo, credit where credit's due, reaches base. And I'll give the guy behind him a chance.
Joe Johnson will bat. It looks like they're going to call it a hit. Would have been a tough play for Higgins all the same. And Johnson tries to drag bunt, fouls that off. Change that right back. We'll call it an error. It's a good thing I'm scoring in pencil today.
It's a good thing I'm not scoring.
He's just living life on the edge.
I living life on the edge, using my memory, which isn't great.
It's been doled by 3 games in 2 days. You're handling a lot of responsibilities behind me. The 0-1. Johnson fooled big time there, and it's 0-2.
It would be nice to keep a book, but I have too many buttons to push already.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
One of
back
these
here.
days we'll have a camera up in the booth, and I'll give you all the grand tour. Not that you'll want it, but
You'll get it all the same.
you'll get it.
0-2 fastball. Good scoop by Glenn to keep it in front of him. And the count 1-2. And again, top of the 8th here. This is a 1-run game, and so you do not want to give up any insurance runs.
No, main priority, if you're Wills, that runner cannot leave first base.
1-2. Slider fooled it. And Wills there again. You know, he's only got 2 pitches listed, right? That fastball and the change, but we've seen him experiment with a little bit more movement on that fastball. Again, similar to Brewer Konak, right? Take something off and add some movement.
Yeah, and when you're able to do that with your slider, it's not like you have just 2 pitches. You add more to it. You're able to get, I'm going to throw a pitch with more depth. I'm going to throw a harder slider. I'm going to throw a slider with more lateral movement or vertical movement.
Oh, this could be 2. A ground ball. Robertson bobbles. And that's another error. Normally sure-handed is Payday at shortstop. And the Owls are trending towards a season high, and not in a good way. 5 errors.
Yeah, a tough day defensively, and for both teams, as it looks like the Jackalopes, they have 3 errors, and this one as well. And
Swing and a miss on strike 1 from Cruz.
the previous 2 games, both yesterday, were pretty sure-handed by everybody.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much that has to do with today being much hotter. And one of the attributes that a turf field will have is that they get pretty hot pretty quick. And I don't know if that will mess with the turf at all and make some of the hops a little bit more unpredictable out there.
Fastball over the outside corner for strike 2 from Wills to Cruz. Wills gets the sign from Glenn. Slider. Oh, Glenn wanted that pitch. So did Wills. And it's
So did
1-2.
the crowd. The 1,600 strong, all voicing their displeasure, but now voicing their kazoos.
1-2. Again, Wills goes right back to that slider on the inside part of the plate, and it's 1-2 again. Cruz 2 for 4 today. A double, a single, and 2 strikeouts. 1-2 again. And Cruz gulps this into the left field corner, fair or foul. And it's a home run. The home plate umpire signaled home run. I think he meant ground rule double. And it's a huge ground run double, or is it 1 run in? 1 run in, a ground rule double.
Yeah.
So Figueredo scores, and Hubbard stops at third.
And that's a bit of a break for the Owls because that runner at first base now has to stop at third, regardless of whether they thought they would score from first or not.
So the infield in as Washington Jr. fouls off the first pitch. Snapped a 2 2/3 scoreless inning streak for Wills. And here, if you get a grounder on the infield, you almost have to look the runner back or try and, I think, get that lead runner. As Wills misses down and away with the changeup to even the count 1-1.
Yeah, that has to be the attitude. You want to keep with just 6 outs remaining if you're the Owls offense in this one, in the bottom of the 8th and then the bottom of the 9th. Got to keep it as close as possible.
And that's fouled off the screen.
And with just 1 out, there's no force anywhere.
And it almost made me wonder if before the at-bat started, if they might have discussed walking Washington Jr. to get to Ray in the on-deck circle, set up that double play, set up that force, get the lefty-on-lefty matchup. But that's, again, why I'm up here and Frank Gonzalez is down there. The 1-2 from Wills to Washington Jr. Got him. 2 strikeouts now for Corey Wills here in the 8th. And I don't know what Washington was expecting, but it wasn't that.
No, I mean, he got the pitch that's been working for Wills, and it still could have been what he was expecting, but the way Wills has been throwing it is in this one, it doesn't matter. As now with 2 outs, infield will return to normal depth.
And a swing and a miss on a first pitch changeup from Anthony Ray. 3 for 4 today, 3 singles, 2 runs, and a fly out. A 1 from Wills. Ray takes in the dirt. Glenn keeps that in front of him. That's an area that Josh Glenn is just so good at. There's really not a whole lot that gets by him.
Yeah, he was a finalist in college for the Buster Posey Catching Award, which, if you don't know much about Buster Posey, he's good.
He's very good.
So being nominated for that award is no small feat.
1-1 from Wills. Fastball blows it right past Ray for strike 2. Oh, Corey Wills a strike away from getting out of a jam here in the top half of the 8th. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Ray chases. Glenn's throw to first in time. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. The Jackalopes have a 2-run lead.
For the Jackalopes, 1 run on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 runners left on. D-Bat Norco, located in Boone, is the premier public indoor baseball and softball facility in northern Colorado. They offer cage rentals, camps, clinics, and private lessons to all ages, all year round. Visit dbatnorco.com or download the DBAT Hub app for more information. Swing by sometime.
Bottom of the 8th here at Future Legends Field. 8-6. Grand Junction has the lead. And again, you know, these two teams, it's always going to come down to the very last minute.
Yeah, it's a flair for the dramatic, I'd say the Owls have. They know how to tell a good story.
I want to talk about telling good stories. I mean, I know you can't see it on the broadcast at home, but the in-house graphics here for the scoreboard designed by Nate Martinez are incredible. I mean, they're exceptionally good.
Absolute 10 out of 10.
First pitch from White to Jackson Coots. A fastball. Does he go? The home plate umpire is making the call.
He appealed.
Or did he appeal?
There's a strike on the board. So that's what I'll put on the score bug. But I don't think it was called a strike.
Coots shoots this to left field into the corner. And that ball is gone. Jackson Coots. Another home run for the Owls. They get the run back, and it's 8-7.
Well, we talked about the Owls being good at telling stories. Jackson Coots is one of their better authors, sending that one the opposite way as the Coots chants rain down from the crowd. And he's going to pull the Owls back within one. Here now, an 8-7 ball game.
Abdel Guadalupe, 1 for 3 this afternoon. He had a 2-run home run in the 6th. And the first pitch, a 59-foot fastball for ball 1. Oh, the Owls, man, home runs fix everything.
They do. Coots endearing himself to the home fans here in this one.
Guadalupe shoots one to second. Hubbard, a nice pick on the backhand. The throw over in time for the first out. I mean, there you go. You have 8 hits if you're Northern Colorado, and 5 of them have been for extra bases.
Yeah. Seven runs on those 8 hits. They've used the long ball to great effect.
Matthews takes a fastball for strike 1.
Matthews with a homer in this one.
He homered to left field, which we haven't seen much until today. Lefties going opposite field with power here at Future Legends Field.
He technically went back-to-back with Coots, albeit there's a pitching change in the middle.
And he's in the driver's seat 2-1.
That still counts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't it? Still
Cool.
back-to-back.
He went back-to-back with
Wada.
Wada.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, that's pretty good for memory, though. All right, scorebook, and I didn't even make that connection. 3-1 to Matthews. Eight, 7. These two teams have been trading body blows all afternoon. Fastball. Matthews moves out of the way. Earns the 5-pitch walk. And the tying run is aboard here in the bottom of the 8th. And that will bring up Josh Glenn. Glenn 2 for 3 today, a multi-hit ball game for him.
2 infield hits for him. Being able to get it done in his own way.
I mean, they don't ask how it happened, and
a pitching change.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if maybe Chris Nabenshu decides it's time for a change. Yes, it will be, as Colin White is done for the afternoon. Will step aside in the bottom of the 8th. A Grand Junction pitching change in a 1-run game. Well, the Jackalopes, a new pitcher familiar to some in the area. Right-hander Calvin Marley will take over. A little homecoming for the 24-year-old, originally from the Fort Collins area. Went to Fossil Ridge High School just up the road and over a little bit, I would say. As Marley making his 7th appearance of the year here in his rookie season.
Fossil Ridge, a great program here in northern Colorado. I'd say it's about a 25-minute drive from here.
If everything cooperates.
I just got corrected. It's 20.
Depends on how fast you drive.
I drive slowly, so it's
25 for you. Josh Glenn. First pitch from Marley. Fastball misses up and in for ball 1. Oh, Marley. 6 innings pitched on the year for the right-hander, the 1-0. Fastball even further up and in. And it's 2-0.
For Marley, he's the same age as me, and he went to Fossil Ridge, so there's a okay chance. Reasonable chance, albeit my memory's not great, that I have faced him at some point in my life, and I can only assume it didn't end well for me.
2-0 from Marley. Inside for ball 3. I don't think you're going to get that call. And it's 3-0. Glenn, I almost wonder red light here with 1 away.
Yeah, 1 away and a runner on first.
3-0 from Marley to Glenn.
Whoa.
That one just a bit inside for ball 4, much to the delight of the fans in attendance. It's a 4-pitch walk.
Just slipped a little bit. It's an embarrassing feeling. Good work by your catcher going out there, giving a little talk, say, hey, it was a mistake. Move on.
Double play
right.
still in order, right? Fourth at any base.
Yeah, with 1 out here, that could be part of their conversation. Hey, what do you want to go to? That pitch didn't find the zone. Is there a pitch that you want to throw here?
As Peyton Robertson 0 for 3, and this has been the one part of the Owls order that has not gotten in on the fun today. 0 for 9, the 7 through 9 hitters this afternoon. Be a good time to break up that donut. First pitch from Marley. That one misses up for ball 1.
Taken all the way. That's 5 balls in a row from Marley since coming out of the pen.
And I was going to say, the pitching coach is coming out to talk to him. He just does not look comfortable. And I don't know that the fans are doing much to make him feel that comfortable. It's a fairly inauspicious homecoming.
I was going to say, they're not helping.
And again, it's a little different, right? It's the largest crowd of the year, a holiday. And I think, too, especially for us in the press box, we are not, we have the press box, but we are at field level with the fans. So we can hear them maybe more than you would in some of the other traditionally set ballparks around the Pioneer League where they have a press box that's maybe a level removed.
Yeah, and it's great to hear the connections that the fans have to the Owls throughout the season, but especially in this game. They're hanging with them pitch by pitch. And Marley, who's thrown 5 balls in a row.
1-0 slider in for strike 1, and the Bronx cheer from the fans. A couple of golf claps as well. One from Marley. Goes back and misses up and in. It's 3-1. And here, if you're Robertson, I don't take your bat off the shoulder. Make him throw a strike.
No, just a 4-pitch walk, and then 2-1 here. He's only thrown 1 strike since coming into this one. There's no reason to swing just yet.
2-1. Marley will turn around and check Matthews at second.
You could see he does not feel comfortable out there.
No. 2-1 from Marley to Robertson. And Robertson a foul tip there. Back to the screen. That was a healthy cut from Payday.
It was. And he was on it too. Just chased it a bit outside.
2-2 to Robertson.
This is a big at bat in this one. Went out here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 men on.
8-7 Grand Junction. A 1-run game. The Owls battling back. And Robertson pokes this to Hubbard at second. They will get 1. The throw, Gordon eats it, and then nearly throws it away, trying to catch Matthews on the turn. So it's a fielder's choice. Runners at the corners with 2 away, and now Kevin Jimenez. Opportunity to be a hero here in the bottom of the 8th.
Jimenez, one of the newest Owls, looking to cement himself, endear himself to these fans. There's no better time than right here.
0 for 3 this afternoon, still looking for his first professional hit. And a slow roller, Hubbard will charge it. Soft throw over, and that will retire the side. The Jackalopes avoid danger after the leadoff home run from Jackson Coots. 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We'll head to the top of the 9th, a 1-run game in Windsor.
For your Owls, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on. The best way to stay engaged with any and all NoCo news is by following the Owls on social media. On Facebook and Instagram, you can find us at NoCo Owls. Follow the Birds on the Bird app too, at Owls NoCo on Twitter. NoCo social media is the spot for facts, photos, and more. Be sure to check us out. We want to thank our post-game meal sponsor, Dickies, for providing meals for our players following this afternoon's game.
Shoemaker, Wong, and Gorton due up for the Jackalopes here in the top of the 9th. And, you know, Ben, it's not often, I think, that you could step back and look at a day at the ballpark and go, man, everything and everyone has delivered so far today. The fans have been here. They've been out in full force, full-throated support. It's been a fun atmosphere. It's been a terrific game. Again, I think even the manager is about the only spot that either of them are going to quibble is obviously going to be defense.
Yeah, and just looking at the board, 5 errors for the Owls, 3 errors for the Jackalopes. That's not what you want to see. And, I mean, we could talk, like, the heat with the field and the turf, all that stuff playing into it, but ultimately it comes down to a lot of weak contact plays in the infield.
Yeah.
You know, some plays that should be pretty sure-handed, quote-unquote, fundamentals type plays. And that's going to be something that I think is going to be a focus in the next few games for both of these squads.
Garrett Sheffield pinch hitting in place of Shoemaker, take away that lefty-lefty matchup. The 24-year-old making his first appearance of the series. And Wills is behind him 2-0. Sheffield played last year at Southeastern. Teammates with Abdel Guadalupe there. Originally from the South Florida area. Wills behind Sheffield 3-0. And that fastball misses inside, nearly clipped Sheffield, who had to duck out of the way. It's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the ninth.
Yeah, able to get out of the way of it. Ultimately, a hit by pitch is the same effect as the 4-pitch walk. So no reason to risk injury. Just dive out of the way of that one. And no one in the dugout will give you grief for not wearing one right there.
I'll bring up Matt Wong, who has been excellent today in all facets of the game. He's going to square to bunt. Fastball up and away for ball 1. 3 for 4. A double, 2 singles, and an RBI, and he has made a few very fine running grabs in center field. Really has covered the acreage out there, and he's done it in a way that it makes it feel almost smaller than the outfield is.
Yeah, we talked about there being a lot of foul territory in this one, as per the effect of it being a soccer field as well. But the same has to be said for the outfield. The gaps get real deep here. There's pretty uniform all the way around. So out in those gaps in right and left center can get pretty big, and having an outfielder that can range and make those plays, invaluable to a team as this
Popped it up. Glenn will make the grab in foul ground. The bunt backfires, a huge first out for Northern Colorado.
Yeah, and that's the risk of the bunt. You always have to make sure you get it on the ground. If it's a pop-up, you're just handing outs to the other team.
That'll bring up Colin Gordon, the Jackalope shortstop. 1 for 4 with a single and an RBI. And, you know, I don't know how comfortable Wong looked bunting there.
It's something that's been asked of almost every single player up and down this Jackalopes lineup in this one.
Fouled off down the first base line and out of play for strike 1.
And I know from experience that a lot of players don't feel comfortable with that.
One and one, they count to Gordon. Wills delivers, and that ball is socked out of play down the first base line. And Wills gets 1 and 2 on the number 9 hole hitter. Short lead for Sheffield off of first base. 1-2 fastball. Glenn with a nice block there. And it's 2 and 2. And I think, Ben, that looked more like throwing and less like pitching.
Yeah, 2 strikes trying to make the perfect pitch. You can never try and make the perfect pitch, I've noticed.
It just happens, right?
Just got to rock and fire. And find a rhythm that works for you. Pitching's all about rhythm. That's why there was a lot of hoopla over the pitch clock early on.
2-2 and a foul tip from Gordon with Sheffield on the move. Yeah, folks were worried that was going to mess with rhythm.
Yeah, and you do have some pitchers, and especially relief pitchers, who took their time on the mound, really fall into a more leisurely rhythm, some may say. But as there's a throw over, nothing going on. But I feel like pitchers have adjusted well. Pitchers who did do that, just like, okay, can't take as much time now. Get back on the mound and pitch.
2-2 from Wills to Gordon. Fastball up. Glenn's throw, a rocket. Sheffield stands no chance. And he is cut down for the second out.
Josh Glenn, perfect throw. Right on the bag. Can't place it any better than that. If you're the shortstop Patterson, you just got to catch and drop your glove a little bit. And you got a second out here. Now with the bases empty, full count, can go right at him.
Payoff pitch from Wills. Got him. A slider fools Gordon to retire the side. The comeback kids will look for another rally in the bottom of the ninth. They trail 8-7.
For the Jackalopes, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on. You want to come to Owlz games, but just don't know which ones? There's a pack just for that. With our Z-Pack, you get 10 flexible ticket vouchers for just $125, and you can use them however you want. When you use all 10 of them, you get 2 more vouchers for free. Get your Z-Pack by visiting northernColoradoOwls.com and clicking on tickets.
Three.
Bottom of the ninth, as it looks like Marley back out on the hill. So Calvin Marley will try and close the door on the Owls as Danny Perez will lead off the bottom of the ninth as a pinch hitter. And Perez, as we know, certainly a long ball threat. And now what it sets up on the other side, Grand Junction does not have any lefties available. And now you've got Perez, George, Diaz, and Coots, 4 straight lefties.
Yeah, yesterday we saw their only lefty out on the mound, and we talked about how strange it is for clubhouses to roll with just one lefty down in that bullpen. And when you do that, this is the situation that you kind of put yourself in. You do not have the advantage to any of these guys.
So Danny Perez, second pinch hitting appearance of the series. He's a .333 batter on the year, 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. He was 0 for 4 in Game 2 yesterday and 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter in Game 1. And he takes the first pitch ball from Marley. The Owls have walked it off 3 times already this season. It's become kind of their thing as Marley catches the strike zone to even the count 1-1.
Perez was a big part of those walk-offs as well.
Yep.
Against the Vibes. He was responsible for 2 of them.
Fastball goes back to that same spot, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, if the umpire is going to call that outside part of the plate to the lefty, might as well keep going there.
Marley delivers, and Perez rolls the ball to first. Johnson will toss it to Marley on the underhand for the first out here in the bottom of the ninth. Brand new pitcher out on the mound in the sense that how much more comfortable Marley looks, even just one batter in.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why he's back out there. Like, hey, we believe in you. We need you to believe in you. Go out and secure us the win in this game. That'll go a long way to getting his confidence back, not only in this game, but going forward.
First pitch, strike, clips the top of the zone to Henry George. 1 for 3 today with a solo home run, a walk, and a stolen base. The 0-1. And George flares that foul, but not by much down the left field line. And it's quickly 0-2. Marley looking for a 5-out save. Came on behind Connor White in the 8th. Oh, 2 from Marley out of the windup to George. chase the fastball. 2 up, 2 down. And the Owls down to their final out. And they'll turn to Euro Diaz. Try and forestall the first time that the Owls would be swept on the season. Diaz 0 for 4. And a first pitch misses down and in to Diaz, who's in the driver's seat, 1-0. A 3-game hitting streak for Diaz coming into the game. He's batting .396 this year. And it's 1-0. Diaz gulps that foul down the left field line, and it's 1-1. From Marley. That missed, and it's 2-1. Diaz ahead in the count. He's got power. Just trying to get alive, or get on base and stay alive, rather. 2-1, and it's 3-1. It's a big pitch here on 3-1. Wonder if Diaz watches, takes. Then there's the other part of your brain that says he's sitting fastball. Marley gets the sign from Shoemaker, and time called. It's a pitch clock violation. That's ball 4. So Euro Diaz gets the 2-out walk on a pitch clock violation for ball 4 from Calvin Marley. And that'll bring up Jackson Coots, who's 2 for 4.
And for a pitcher who is already clearly unsettled in this one, there's nothing much more unsettling than that, getting the pitch clock violation to put a man on, especially a guy that represents the tying run in this one.
Jackson Coots, exactly who you want to see up in this situation for the Owls. The tying run off of first in Euro Diaz, the winning run at the plate in Coots. First pitch from Marley, and that is fouled off down the left field line and into the corner, and it's 0-1. Now this one has done nothing but deliver in the entertainment column today. The 0-1 on the way from Marley. Fastball up and away, misses, and it's 1-1. One and one from Marley to Coots. Ground ball, base hit into right field. That'll do the job. Diaz heads to third. The throw from Washington Jr. cut off. And the tying run 90 feet away. And here comes Abdel. Guadalupe will try and get the job done here for the Owls. First pitch misses to Wada for ball 1. A 1-0 to Guadalupe. And it's 2-0. Hitters count to Guadalupe. 2-0 from Marley. 3-0. That gets to the screen. Everybody stays put. No chances being taken here by the Owls. And I wonder here if you may just walk Guadalupe and not take any chances. Oh, the 3-0 on the way from Marley. The get me over strike does the job, and it's 3-1. Fans thought it might have been a little low. Marley gets the sign and deals. A ground ball to second, and that will end the ball game. The Owls put the tying run 90 feet from home, but just cannot bring him in. A deserving round of applause from the home crowd today, despite the defeat. The Owls swept for the first time on the year. They will fall to 13-10. Mark Tyndall will take the loss for Northern Colorado. On the other side, Grand Junction moves to 500, 12-12 on the year with their 3-game sweep over the Owls. Justin Kleinsorge gets the win. He improves to 3-0. The Owls go back on the road to Billings. We'll be back here at Future Legends Field in a couple of weeks. The next home game on June 27th against these Jackalopes. On behalf of Ben Shoemate, Brendan Price, signing off. The Owls fall 8-7 on Father's Day.